G'day world and welcome back to Stuff We Do, where we do all the knife stuff you love. Knife reviews, knife tests, knife modifications and outdoor stuff with knives. Today we're gonna braai, eat watermelon. You know, it's public holiday today. Freedom Day? Yes, it's Freedom Day, I think. Monday we have Workers' Day, so we have a long weekend. So that's fantastic. Anyway, so I'm playing with this knife. Now this thing is wonderful and I have been warned it's extremely sharp. And yes, it is extremely sharp. Okay, now, if you see water on it, it's because I just had my wife wash it. And you know how women wash kitchen knives? Yes, but I'm sure it won't do anything to this knife because this thing is quite awesome. Okay, 5CR15 blade steel. Okay, which is pretty much standard fare for your average budget kitchen knife. Ebony wood. But look at this thing. This is marvelous. This knife is less than 800 Rand from Pickled steel. And yes, it is still extremely sharp. Okay, I did not do a lot with it. I cut up a pork belly into pork rashers. I chopped a few veggies last night and then I chopped up a watermelon. Apparently a small watermelon is called a sugar baby. Or maybe it's a different type. I don't know. But cut up one of those. Okay, so we already said 5CR15. We already said this thing is wonderful value for less than 800 Rand. Look at this. Integral bolster over here. Full tank construction. We have this thing over here that you can tie any lanyard on if you want to. I don't think I'm going to do that because... yeah, it's called the Bush Chef. I'm always looking for outdoorsy chef's knives. Okay. But yeah, I don't want that getting full of fat and nonsense and whatever. I want it like this. It can be washed quite easily. The tip on this thing is quite extreme. This thing is very sharp. Okay. And then it's got this faux forged texture here at the top. Now, initially I thought this was going to add a lot of drag to the thing, but it actually does not. To the contrary, it actually works like that lines you get on the, what's that thing called? A Santoku knife. So things doesn't stick to it when it gets to here because it creates little air pockets and it falls off. Okay. Now, what makes this knife, yeah, it's very big. Okay, it's 34 centimeters this way. I don't know what that is in inches. Let's quickly see. That's 12, maybe 13 inches long. Yeah, let's say 13. I'm just going to say it. Okay, 34 centimeters long. Blade length on this thing is, what's that? 20 centimeters, which is about 8 inches. Wonderful size, wonderful knife, especially if you want to do cooking outdoors. Now, let me just grab this thing. I know I'm still going on about the previous point, but you know I ramble a bit when I talk. So this thing is, what's it, 0.10 inches, which is 2.7 millimeters. Okay, so it's not a thick knife, which means it slices quite nicely. Okay, now we're back to my first part. What makes this thing cooler and what stops me from taking a normal chef knife when we go on holiday or outdoors or things like that is you always have to, I don't know, make a sheath for the thing. This one comes with this wonderful looking sheath. Okay, so it's nice and thick leather. It is real leather. It's got wonderful snaps, and then it's got these two straps, but you can take them off completely if you want to, and then you can put them on however you want to. Yeah, maybe you want to carry it like a bandolier around your, what am I doing now? Like a bandolier around your chest or something. And then I don't know what you're going to do with that. But anyway, however you want to put these loops, you can. Look at it. It's got little decorations and it's darker here. Looks quite lovely. Okay, let me show you what it looks like with the knife inside. We have a nice thick welt over here. Welt is the extra piece of leather that I put in here so you do not cut off your stitching when you put the knife inside. And then we have this strap over there. This thing is going nowhere. And you have a package like this. Okay, but wait, let me just put this thing right, because now it just looks crazy, and I don't think I will ever take them off, because they look better just where they were initially, even if you do not have a specific function for them. Okay, so we have like a normal belt style loop thing over here. Not that I think I'm going to carry this thing on my hip while walking around. People looting. Hopefully it's a delivery. Anyway, but yes, awesome knife. Okay, so let's do something with it. Okay, I'm going to use my pickled steel bush chef to take apart my, well, I call this a small watermelon, but apparently this is a sugar baby. So let's cut up a sugar baby. Okay, let's see. Well, this thing is plenty sharp. And if you have ever cut watermelons, you will know that it is no small feat to get beautiful slices with not a lot of effort. This thing is marvelous. Okay, so over here we have a piece of pork belly, rib pork belly. Okay, we have the piece of skin at the top, nice fatty, nice layers. Okay, now my wife asked me to cut this quite thin and then fry it, barbecue it, because, okay, we're not going to smoke it, we're not going to salt it, we're not going to do anything like that. Yeah, she just asked me, please take off the skin. Yeah, I'll save the skin for something else. Okay, let's quickly do that. Okay, so let's do that, but we don't want to lose too much of the fat. We just want to get the skin off. Because I still want the fat on my thing. Okay, now this blade is not perfect for that. We need something with a bit more belly, but I should be able to fight through this. Okay, didn't show you any further, but that's fine. Okay, so now I want to cut this into thin little strips. Okay, this thing is room temperature, and you would actually want to do this when it's a bit colder. Okay, so these are going to be our little rashers. I'm going to spice them now with, what do you call that stuff? 777 spice, because that's the only stuff I have right now. And then apricot jam. But apricot jam, I think, a bit later, otherwise it's going to burn too quickly. I just want to say, this knife works wonderful. Now, I know normally you would take a butcher's knife for cutting meat and things, but this is working quite fine. Okay, a thin piece of bacon, well, pork belly, but it's fine. Okay, I never have a clear plan about what I'm going to do. So now in here we have that 777 spice, and I was mixing it in. And then I don't have Coke here, I only have Pepsi, so I added some Pepsi in here. And now we're just mushing this around. Then I'm going to put it in the fridge until I am, until my fire's done, and then these things will be bright. Now, like I said, these things are going to be eaten on buns. So it's like a weird prego, I suppose. Okay, I started a fire. Now we're just waiting for coals, and then we will do our little, I don't know what you're going to call them, rashers? Yeah, let's stick with pork rashers. I know most pet owners say their dog's the prettiest thing in the world, but look at this little hyena. Okay, there we have them. Okay, but they are kind of falling apart because they became so super tender. So we will see what this turns out to be. But still, I think it's going to be great on a bun. Okay, so this is what these guys look like now. So I'm going to give them, let me get you closer. Now I'm going to give them some apricot jam, and then I will show you again. Okay, so this is apricot jam. All gold, smooth apricot jam. Now I'm going to rub it on there with this orange thing. Sorry, I'm one-handed, so I can't show you. Okay, and we're done. Yeah, you know already what I did to these things. So now they're going to go onto little buns, little floured buns, I think, and then we're going to eat them. Okay, so in my little slider, I have a bit of margarine, a bit of apricot jam, and then a few of those, well, 1.5 of those little, what are we calling them? Rashers. So yes, all of you that made it till the end, all of you stay safe, happy, have a good one. Goodbye.